ISSA certification.
Okay.
It's a certification, and I got one.
That's all you need to know. I'm qualified to do this.
Exactly.
Only because I myself wanted to be educated, before I had anybody's, life in my hands at a point, let me educate myself. I knew nothing about anatomy and none of that. So I knew that before I wanted to start training, I was going to get certified. So people asked me, of course, like before I was like, no, I'm going to hold off on it. But
Right.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
people, yeah.
And that says a lot about your spirit, that you were not about to just be out here taking from people, and not having the knowledge and wisdom to give back.
Right. And what works for me might not work for you. So I need to be educated on what works for you as well. And all around.
Right.
So.
Man. I'm sorry, girl.
I know.
Yes, connections. Connecting the queens. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the Mirage Podcast to listen to this amazing interview with Brittany Porter, a.k.a. Britt, a.k.a. Move with B. Brittany, you are an inspiration. You are an entrepreneur. You are motivated and motivating to everybody around you. What I would like everyone to know is that Brittany and I just met within the last couple weeks. If not for this pandemic, would we have met?
Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think so.
So we just met, and the reason we met is because mutual friends invited me to work out. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm trying to get off the couch. I want to remain active. And I loved that I was going to have the opportunity to vibe off of other people, not knowing that I was going to meet literally the queen. I think you're like the queen of fitness. And if you go to her Instagram below here, you will see clearly that she is the queen of fitness. But
anyway, yes.
There's so much more behind just being physically fit. And I realized as I was getting to know you better and looking at your Instagram and learning about what you stand for, that you believe that as well. That it's so much more than being physically fit. It's a mental thing and it's a spiritual thing too.
All the way.
You do a great job. You do a great job showing that. Just with what you do, on social media and what I saw from you in person.
Oh, and for that hot second, it was so quick.
Exactly.
Before you stepped on the scene, I was like, I like her. Who is she?
I'm so glad we could exchange that same exact feeling.
Yes.
It definitely went both ways.
Yes. Love it.
So tell me a little bit more about just that general, how you see fitness. It's not just something physical. Tell me about mental health, emotional health, as well as physical health. How did you come to define those things for yourself?
I had to go through it. I had to start. It's literally like my peace, my therapy. Fitness is, it has to become mental first before physical. And I came to realize that along my journey, how much fitness was, more so for my mental, for my sanity, for my emotional too. Like, I can cry at the gym, I can scream, I can do all of that, I can release, and that is exactly what I do.
Baby, that's
when
deep.
I'm
Have you cried at the gym before?
Girl, if I told you my story, we'll probably get into it. I have cried at the gym several times. Because that's what
so emotional.
Girl, don't get me started. But yes, I have. And like I said, it's more than just physical. Way more than that. That's just a plus. It starts from the inside though. The physical is just a plus.
Now, I have two questions that came to mind. One of them is, you say it's more about the mental. What are some of the things that you can remember that you did go through mentally? Like if there's a question you were asking yourself or a mantra that you started saying in order to really exercise your mental health and your mental state. Is there anything that comes to mind that you remember?
Anything? When my mental wasn't there, you saying?
Either or, just something that you remember exercising in your mind, maybe before you even started physically exercising, or as you started that journey. What were the things that were happening mentally that kind of got you through and pushed you forward?
One, I had to say this is bigger than me, especially along my journey, knowing that others were watching me and knowing that this was my personal journey, but I had more people watching than I realized. And I knew that this was bigger than me. And regardless of how I felt at the time, I knew whatever I started, I had to push through and finish. So, with that, I set my own personal goals in line when I started my journey. And there were times when I was like, know how if I want to do this right now. I don't know if I feel like
Right.
it, but anything I start, I finish, and I think that's what it was. Just to keep going, honestly, to really just keep going. I had to tell
Right.
myself over and over, Brittany, just keep going.
And what were some of your personal goals? You mentioned you had set some. What were some
Yeah.
of the
So
ones you set in the beginning?
in the beginning, of course, I wanted to be skinny. I I
Mm.
wanted to have a small waist. I didn't really care about having a big butt. I was like, I just want to be skinny. I want to be able to. I want to be a size
Wow.
3. And honestly, that's exactly what I did. I went from a size 12 to a size 3, and
What?
I did. Mhm. And it
Can you
took
say
place.
that again? I just want to make sure nobody overlooks what you just said.
And people look at me. They're like, Brittany, you were never big. You were never. But it was more like a sloppy, unhealthy weight. Like, no, I was not 200 pounds. No, but I was pushing a size 12, and I got down to a size 3. I had no shape, no nothing. But and that was a lot of me. My training was what I didn't know. I was sitting in the cardio machine for hours, and at the time, that was all I knew.
Mm.
And that's honestly how I got that small. And further along, as I started doing my own research and looking up things on Pinterest or Instagram, and then I started saying, okay, let me try this and let me try. I was the girl that was afraid to touch the waist. I was,
Wow.
and look at me now. So
Wow. Look at
yeah,
her
I
now.
was not touching, and I remember watching a girl. I think she had put like 45 pounds on the bar, and she was so small, and I was like, I can't wait to be able to do that. Like I could not wait, and I would see people in the
Right.
gym, and I'd be like, that's gonna be me one day. That's gonna be me. Watch, and sure enough, that's me.
Sure enough, is you
Sure enough,
understood.
like
Sure
that's my
enough
warm up
is
now.
you're right.
Like
Sorry.
but
She
but yeah,
said your workout is my warm up.
yeah, okay.
I love that.
But we all start from somewhere, and where I started
Absolutely.
is completely different than where I'm now. And then I think it was
Wow.
only 3 years ago, 2017. Just
Okay.
to think that it was only so, and it happened so quickly too. Like I
Yeah,
lost the
that doesn't
weight.
sound like a long
Mm-mm.
time.
No,
Mm.
I lost over 35 pounds. Maybe about 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a little longer, but yeah.
So there's a transition here that I want to talk about. There's
Hmm.
the Brittany that was like, I'm gonna just do cardio forever. I'm gonna drop from a size 12 to a size 3. There's
That's what I want
that
to
version
do.
of Brittany.
Hmm.
Then there's a shift where
Hmm.
clearly you valued something else. You valued maybe being stronger
Hmm.
more than you valued being small.
And no longer, because how I started was how I hated the way I looked, how I
Mm.
felt from the inside out.
Mm.
That once I got over that, it was more so, this is, I feel great. Now I want to be the strongest woman walking. Like forget what society says a woman should look like, how they should train, and any of that. No, I want to be strong, and not because I became strong on the inside. Now I want to become strong on the outside. I want to be strong all around, and to train, like, to have that mental of not just being strong on the outside, but the mental it takes to be able to think, okay, you can lift 300 pounds and you're a female. That right there was like, I'm doing it. Like that's gonna be
I'm
that's gonna
gonna
be
go
me.
on those quote websites where you just look up quotes of certain like topics, and I'm gonna
uh,
create a page specifically for Brittany Porter. And from this interview,
I
I will be
would.
able to quote so many things with like
So
that beautiful background of a sunset, and then
okay.
your words in the front. Like this is amazing. Okay, so
Yes.
then, and here's what we haven't mentioned this.
Mhm.
Then that Brittany said, "I want to be the strongest woman walking." And then you continue to feed into yourself
Mhm.
mentally by
Mhm.
going ahead and really learning about anatomy and getting your international sports science certification,
Mhm.
which is incredible. And that
Yes.
certification is what's brought you to being an entrepreneur. And
Yep.
being an entrepreneur is what has you with your clients and
Mhm.
influencing everyone and taking this beautiful spirit. We only been chatting for like 10 minutes. And
Right.
in this first 10 minutes, I'm sure everyone picks up on, okay, if I were to physically train or to, have fitness training from anyone, it's not
Mhm.
going to be with just somebody that looks strong. It's going to be with somebody
Yeah.
that thinks and feels the way that you
Mhm.
already do, and we're 10 minutes
Right.
into the
Right.
conversation.
And
Let's go.
entrepreneurship was not a part of my plans. It honestly wasn't.
Wow.
My dad's an entrepreneur. He kind of had that influence, but it was more so like it didn't come from me. I didn't know what I wanted to start, and I wasn't going to
Okay.
become an entrepreneur just because my dad was one or just because he
Right.
preached that up and down. But like I said, as I started my journey, people were drawn to me further than I could ever imagine. And
Mm-hmm.
it was my consistency that when I posted every day and say, I don't feel like being here, but here's what I'm going to do. I don't feel like sticking to the diet right now. I'm out. My friends are doing this, but I'm going to say no, and I'm going to eat this instead. Or so it was. I didn't ask for this. I didn't. Which is kind
Wow.
of how I knew that this was aligned with my purpose. So people came to me and they were asking me questions. They were looking for me to train them, and people and even not with just fitness. It was sometimes like, Brittany, you're at the gym every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock sometimes before class. You made me literally just want to get up and do something, or literally just want to get up and go back to school. Like, just to see your consistency to anything made a lot of people want to just do the same.
Mm.
So, like I said, I didn't ask for this. So I ended up, once people
Wow.
saw me, people said, I want to work out with you. Let's train together. And I always welcome that. Sure, like, come on, let's go. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed helping people do things that they thought they never could, and watching them progress. I love that. And I'm a people person, but I'm not. But when it comes to this fitness thing, or
Mm-hmm.
doing something that I love, or helping better anyone, I'm all here for it. So once I started, I was like, I think I can do this. So I went ahead, got my certification. I was actually still in undergrad. Um, it was a self practice, a self study exam. So I took it online, and once I got certified, then I started taking on clients, and then it was okay. Let's come up with a name. Let's
Right.
see. And that was the hardest thing for me. Oh my gosh, coming up with a
Oh,
name,
really?
very difficult. Because, not to knock anybody who has their name as their
Mm-hmm.
their business or their brand, because you are your brand. But I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't want it to be Brittany Porter Fitness, or that's why I emphasize on the with be,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I'm coming on this journey with you. It's not about me. It's about your journey and how I can help you along the way. So that came about,
I can't stand this. Maybe we should have did a practice interview because I'm really over here crying for the record.
Oh,
Because it's just like social media has changed the world so
they
much.
have, they
And
have.
this is why this
Hmm.
podcast is here, y'all.
Yeah.
Because you really need to hear and see that there are
Hmm.
women like Brittany with
Yes.
this beautiful spirit out here
Yes.
in these streets.
And I always
Okay.
say that. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's all. I always say, if I could leave this world and accomplish one thing, it would be, I would like one person to say that Brittany helped change my life, or as many people to say Brittany helped change my life, and I'll be content. I'll be happy.
I
So
love this.
this move will
And it's
be.
just, it was so funny. It was so funny hearing you say that coming up with the name was a tough process
It
because
was.
now it just seems so solid and it fits so
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
But when I hear you say that this was not a part of the plan, and this is
At all.
another thing I want to shine light on, we don't have to dive into this, or if you want to dive into
Mhm.
it, you absolutely can. But you
Mhm.
are a spiritual person as well. You
Yes.
do operate purposefully, and like you
Yes.
said earlier, you know that you're walking in your purpose. So
Mhm.
if you are a spiritual person, you understand that something bigger than us is at work,
Yes.
and you know that there's purpose behind everything, even the things that
Mhm.
don't feel good to you.
Yes.
um
Mhm.
so for you to
Absolutely.
say it was hard and you felt like you didn't know what you wanted the name to be and stuff, I'm
Mhm.
not surprised that it fits so
Yeah.
well, because it sounds like you've just been aligned, like you've just been on this
Yeah.
path, whether it felt comfortable to you or not.
Yeah, and it
So,
was very uncomfortable for me to start. Like I said,
mm,
I'm not a person who likes the spotlight. I don't like the attention necessarily, if you want to call
mm-hmm,
it. But
mm-hmm,
um, I knew that this was something that people were looking for, and something that people needed. Um, and I could tell by, just my small interactions or conversation with people, like, I needed to see you every day. I looked forward to looking at your stories every day to see what you were doing and how you were, like, so dedicated and consistent. And, you know,
I be hyped. I be like, oh, what Brittany post? What she post now?
yeah. But like I said, this was not a part. But, it took me being uncomfortable took me going through my own journey and being uncomfortable, and knowing that it's okay to be uncomfortable, and taking that and letting that kind of just lead me and kind of just going with the flow. And that's what I did. I didn't rush it. I didn't think too much of it. If I wasn't like, I need to come up with a name this, and I didn't have this at this time. I didn't do all that. I just kind of just let it come. Like, I don't force anything, because it has to. It has to just flow. So yes.
So I think now is a good time to go ahead and dive into that, because you mentioned it was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But what I understand is that there was a point in your life where you were even more uncomfortable
Girl.
with this.
Yes.
So and what another thing you said earlier that caught my attention was that you knew that people were watching. You knew that somebody was looking up to you or over at you and needed to see you succeed.
And they needed to see my journey. So rewind to how I even got started into fitness. Was about, like I said, 2017. I just was in a really unhappy place, mentally, emotionally, physically. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way who I had became on the inside. I hated the way I thought. I had been in a relationship for about 6 years, going on 6 years, and it's just a very toxic relationship. But me being so comfortable staying there, I had let myself go. Not only that, just the other things I was going through at the time as well. So like I said, I remember, so I came to a point where I said, you know what? I'm walking away. I'm leaving that. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, Brittany, you need to get up and move and literally do something. So hated the way I looked. All right, let's go to the gym. And through that, like I said, those are the times where I cried out of frustration. I remember sitting on the squat machine, bawling my eyes out just because I was so angry and so unhappy with who I had become. And nobody knew what I was going through. That's the other thing. My parents, my brother, my best friend, nobody knew. And it was almost like I had almost wanted to cry. It was a cry out for attention in a sense. Like, I wanted people to see that this change was occurring. And even ask if that makes sense. Like, what kind of started? Like, why are you so heavy in the gym now?
Like, where you been at 5 a.m. every morning?
Yeah, and why are you going to the gym 3 times a day? Like, are you okay? And there was a point in time where, like, I remember, like, sitting in my car and really almost wanting to put myself at harm to get somebody's attention, to know, like, this is me, and I'm going through something right now. I'm going through something, and nobody knew. And girl, don't get me crying. But like I said, like, to think that I had gotten to that point of wanting to harm myself, in a sense, put myself at harm just to get the attention of somebody else, anybody, was deep, and that was kind of like my breaking point. So fast forward to the gym. The gym was my therapy. The gym was my peace, and it, like I said, it became more than just what I look like on the outside. Along the way. So, yes.
When you started going to the gym, were you asking any friends to come with you? Or was anyone like, oh, you go to the gym now? I do too. Can I roll with you? Like, was there stuff like that in the very beginning?
There was a girl who actually was like, yeah, let's work out. We're going to get on this schedule. I worked with her at the time, and she was like, come on, let's go. And we kind of became each other's accountability partner. And, we kind of went our separate ways after a while, just school and everything else. But I didn't do it alone. But even still, she didn't know what I was going through.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking. That's crazy that you were.
Because I can still.
Go ahead.
I often wore a smile on my face, knowing that I was having the worst day possible.
Now, would you say that it was the toxic relationship? Would you say that it was the toxic relationship that had you feeling this low about yourself?
It definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and just because after 3 years, I knew I should have walked away, but I had to hold on for another 3 years and just letting it keep going and continuing to, it being what it was, knowing that it was no good for me, and staying in that, definitely. Like, I had really let myself go. And Brittany was a person who cared about what other people thought, who, I did so much for the approval of others. And now, absolutely not, you know? So I was not myself. And I knew that where I was at was not who I wanted to be as a person, that I knew it wasn't the end for me as well. And I knew that I was going to come out of it. I just didn't know what it was going to take for me. Like I said, I didn't know fitness was going to be the thing that really, helped me. I was not an athlete growing up. My brother was,
Wow. Okay.
at all. So, I ran track in high school, and I only ran track because my mom told me I can get a perm if I ran track or played a sport. And my team, that's how I started track. That's how I
Oh
ran.
my God.
And my team was amazing. Like, we had the best team ever. And I love
Wow.
being around them. So I ran for all 4 years.
Shout out the team. What team we talking about? Shout them out.
Washington Township High School. We're not even going to talk about them. But I mean, the circle of friends, yes. The school, not so much.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
but like I said, I was not the athlete growing up. So people see me now, and I was not a competitor, no, none of that. And now, complete different. My brother's the fat one, and I'm the I'm the. If you don't know, I have a twin brother. He was like one of the fastest kids in the school, and yeah, and it's weird to kind of see that shift.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, when you say that, it's like when you have a twin, I'm sure you're working to establish your own different identities. So I could see how you probably didn't feel like you had to share in an athletic identity, because it was like, all right, Larry got that. That's his job.
And even that through high school, I was, my brother was the outspoken one. And going all through school, I was always Larry's sister. And I say that all the time because I was never Brittany. I was always connected to him. And, oh, you're Larry's sister. Oh, he's so funny. Oh, he's so this. What do you do? And I'm just like, little old me over here. Nothing, like, So for a long time, I did not, I was still finding myself in a sense, I guess. And it started from high school, and then the relationship started, when I first went to college, and then being kind of sheltered in a sense at home, and then going away to college for 2 years, that opened a bunch of doors, So carrying that along, it was a lot. Now that I think about it, like, so much, I know I look back and I think like so much kind of contributed to why I felt the way I felt at that time. And just that place that I was in, that I was just very unhappy. I knew I wasn't Brittany. I knew I wasn't. And there was things that people saw in me that I didn't see in myself, along my journey, in a sense.
Wow.
So, yes.
So what would you say to anybody that may be in the position that you were in when you were at this low point? Could you think back to that Brittany in the beginning, when she started to realize she couldn't see within herself what other people were seeing, and then unfortunately you were impacted by the negative things that some people or that somebody may have been seeing? What would you say to the person that needs to get away from that terrible habit, or that needs to start believing in themselves, and move forward?
One, I would say the people who you are around, and there's going to come a point where you're going to hit a breaking point. You're going to hit it. Everybody has it. And to really understand why you're at that place that you're at, and where do you want to be, and then aligning those steps and doing it. If you want, it's easier said than done. If you want something bad enough, you'll do it, but not necessarily. Not when it comes to when your mental is at stake and your peace is at stake. When you're thinking about almost taking your life, for a cry of help, it's not that easy. And like I said, I had people around me that had no clue. So, and I feel like if I would have spoken up, the people that I had around me would have been there for me, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten as bad as it would have been had I spoken up. But I was very quiet, and even still to this day, I'm still very quiet. I like to handle a lot of things on my own, and I'm realizing more and more that it's not necessarily okay to have it all bottled up. It's not. Whether you need to write it down and or, however you need to let it out,
Yeah.
do it, let it out, and figure out where is it that you want to be. And but I think it's very important to figure out why you're there, what got you
Right.
to this space, and so that how, so you don't want to ever go back there. So
Right. Right.
uh
Now you said
so
it's
yeah.
easier said than done. What would you say are some of the easier things that somebody can do to kickstart that process? Because I agree, I've been in a
Mhm.
similar position,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to remember, even though it was really hard to pull myself out, what were the smallest baby steps, the tiniest things that I was able to do
Mhm.
to simply get that ball rolling? Do you remember like anything in the beginning? Like, for example, you said you started going to the gym,
Mhm.
but
And
just
and
getting out of bed and like
get
going, it
getting, yeah,
didn't always feel easy. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
at all. No, no, no. And I think that's that. Because the gym was only an hour or two out of the day. I still had to go home and handle and deal what I was handling. I still had to walk away from things and deal with the way I was feeling. So, yeah, the gym was there for that hot second and it helped. But anytime I wanted to sit, or I felt like I was sitting in a funk or that dark place where, I immediately got off of social media
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get up, like physically get up, whether that meant me getting up and going for a walk or me getting on the phone to talk to somebody. I just get up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose to sit and feel that way, or you can get up and do something. And like I said, I hit that breaking point and I was like, you know what? That's enough. I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here. I'm not going to allow myself to sit in this dark spot, and I'm going to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And even still, that kind of might not necessarily help in a sense, because like I said,
Right.
it's it's easier said than done.
But it sounds like
And
one of those things, because you're able to shift your physical, like we talked about the
hmm
difference between the physical, the mental, the
yeah,
emotional. That's just that small physical thing where just because I get
hmm
up and sit on the porch instead of sitting in bed,
yeah,
I might not even realize that that little bit of sunshine, or just
hmm
not being in my bed
yeah,
is doing something for my mental.
right, right,
Girl, I can't
right.
stand you. Jesus Christ. Shoot! It's okay. That's what we're
Yeah,
here
it's
for, baby.
okay. It's okay.
Uh,
Because you always come out stronger.
yes,
And
yes.
I needed to go through that. I really did.
Mhm. Mhm.
Looking back, like, everybody needs, you know, it may take that, and it took that for me to become who I am today. And if I could change anything, I wouldn't
Right.
at all.
And oh, that's what I was just thinking about. Like,
Yeah.
look at how many people you are impacting
Yes.
right now.
Like, this is the girl who sat in a car and was ready to, like, let herself go. Like, let myself go. Like, and I remember I was driving, I pulled over, I was blowing and I sat on the side of the road for about a good maybe hour and 30 minutes, like, just crying and just like, Brittany, like, you're so much more than this. The world needs you. There's people out here that already, love you, and it would do more harm to them than good. So yeah.
Now, woo, Jesus. Okay. I I wasn't going to bring this topic up until later, and it is
hmm
something maybe we can expand on later. But
Yeah.
let's make it concentrated. At that point, who were some of the first people that you did start letting in, and what did that look like
Ooh. Um, letting in
in terms
to
of
what I was
that?
going through at the time, or like just in
Yeah.
general.
Whether and I feel like maybe it still was hard for a long time to be completely upfront about that part
Yeah.
of your journey. But who would you say are the first people that you started to just be more transparent with? And then maybe those were the people that you eventually were able
hmm
to, look back and say, hey, I never told you this before. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Um, my best friend, my brother. Me and my brother got a lot closer over the years, over the past
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 years. And I would say my best friend. And even still, she might not necessarily know that piece of it,
Right,
but
right.
she witnessed the relationship firsthand. And like that's my best friend. We've been best friends since first grade.
So y'all were.
And
Oh wait, is this Jaren we're talking about or
yes,
somebody else?
Jared.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jaren witnessed the relationship that kind of. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And she knew exactly what it was. She knew the back and forth, and she didn't know the extent of how I was feeling and what it kind of had done to me as a person.
Right.
All she saw was Brittany left this relationship, and Brittany had a big glow up, and that's what a lot of people saw. A lot of people just saw that, and so with her, and honestly, I can't really say that there were a lot of people who I let in at the time. Besides her, I really can't. I have a small, close circle of friends, of girlfriends, but even still, they didn't know the in depths of it. Yeah, I honestly, and now that you ask me, I'm surprised. Like I really can't think of anyone. There wasn't anybody. They just saw the outcome of it, and they witnessed the process. They saw the outcome of it. And few people kind of know, how I started.
Right.
But the in depths of how I was feeling mentally and emotionally, I can't say a lot of people know. This might be this might be the way that people find out. Honestly.
That's deep. And girl, oh my goodness, we could exchange this energy forever, because here's my thought when you say that. Brittany, oh gosh. This is terrible. This is terrible. Brittany, quick question. How many clients do you have?
Right now,
even before the pandemic, would you say, okay, ready? When did Move with B truly start? After the certification, what year was that?
2017.
Okay, so it's
2017, 2018.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
About 3 years. And in that 3 years, could you give me a roundabout number for the amount of people, not even just clients, because I'm thinking of your friends that I had the pleasure of meeting. I'm thinking of people like Khalif and Jordan and Jaren, and seeing that they all work out with you too. Harlan, my bad, Harlan. I didn't mean to leave you last, Toby. My bad.
Right, Harlan.
Smack on Harlan.
Yes.
Who's that guy again? Oh, Harlan.
Harlan. He's not good at anything.
So, can you give me a roundabout number? How many people have been connected with Brittany and her healthy lifestyle? Just one number, real quick.
Oh, gosh. Because I'm thinking of even conversations that I've had and people who've asked me questions. Oh, gosh. Honestly, I'm going to say maybe 50-ish, if I can count. Because I've had over about 15 clients. And that's between in person and online, and the people, and then do my event. And I made a lot of connections with a lot of people. That opened the door for a lot. And I met some amazing people along the way, and I've learned a lot.
I'm sorry, did you say you met some amazing people along the way?
What's up, B? Hello,
Who
Move
invited
with
him?
Fitness Center.
You see? I'm gonna cry.
This was perfect. This was so perfect. Jordan, I did not plan that. Wait, Jordan, I was about to say something real serious and deep, and she was like, I met some amazing people along the way, and I was like, oh?
What's up,
all right.
B?
Jordan was, okay, let me just say, okay, hold on.
Oh, don't start. Don't start.
Wait.
Come on, keep it gangster,
Right.
B. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster.
Up.
We know, man.
It's all good.
That's right.
All right. Jordan was a huge part of the start, of the beginning. Now, Jordan may not know to the extent of like the background or whatever, but Jordan was there at the start. Jordan answered all of my questions when I was ready to start this. He asked me the right questions. I asked him all the questions. Like Jordan, whatever. Jordan, he's gonna say he didn't, but he was a huge part of me starting, and like this is B, and like B can do it, and Jordan, he's gonna deny it because I know we have this argument all the time, but like Jordan helped me so much more than he realizes, and I can't stand him, but I love him.
Jordan, real quick, what do you have to say about what you've seen of Brittany's journey thus far?
I just remember Brittany being the girl who used to always try to stay in the background, or always trying to be low key. She would be everywhere with everyone else, but was just always low key, kept to herself,
Yep.
never really said much. And then just as she started figuring herself out, training more, just taking care of herself, loving herself more, she became that person who's like, all right, I'm front and center now. And like, I'm never going backstage. There is no more backstage. So, I mean, just her confidence change, that's just
Yeah.
dope. From that's just
A
the
lot.
confidence change. That's the biggest thing from her, definitely. But
And how
also,
would you
she lied.
go ahead.
Sorry, she lied. I did nothing to really help her. I'm gonna be completely honest. She asked me a couple questions here and there.
Okay.
She did.
Jordan
got
started
this.
training.
Go ahead.
Jordan started training me. Like before I did it on my own, or like in the middle of it. I think when I started my own, and then came to Jordan for a second. Like Jordan started training me first. Like
I'm
when I
real
couldn't lift
mad
10 pounds.
now. Right. So here's why I'm angry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the last that you will see of Jordan, aka Spider. While he's going to have his own interview, clearly it's because he's out here inspiring and encouraging and motivating folks. So the fact that he's over here like, I don't even do anything.
Right.
He's just going to have his own interview where he explains how he does all the stuff for all the people. So anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, I ain't taking credit for nothing that I didn't do.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
You already started on your own. We just worked out together. We were training partners, if anything.
All right,
If
I'll take
anything, we
it.
were training partners.
I'll take it. I guess.
Because you trained through every prep with me and everything. So if anything, it was more like we were just training with each other. It wasn't never me trying to train you. You was already a beast. That was on you.
But you see, I didn't believe that. Like he saw the beast. I didn't see that. So
I will take that.
yeah.
You helped her see herself that way.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And if she never saw herself
she definitely
that
used to
way,
doubt herself.
A lot.
Wow.
A lot. Jordan, thank you.
This is amazing.
Love you, B.
I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you, Jordan, for taking a second.
Thanks, Jordan.
I appreciate it.
Who invited him?
Dope.
You invited him? You invited him?
I don't even know how he got the link. I don't. Talk to you soon, Jordan. Thanks.
Say bye.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That was so good. It was.
I love you. You deserved that. You really did.
Oh, thank
that was
you.
great.
Oh my gosh, it was. Yes.
So, the deep question. You said that you were in the 50s and counting for the amount of people that you have influenced.
Mm-hmm. That's a roundabout.
Yeah. And what I'm about to do is for you and I right now, B. Have you stopped to think that any of those 50 plus people might be in the same exact place that you were in when you started, and you might not even know it?
Yes, because of conversations that I've had with people. Off the strength of that. Yeah. I'm trying to like say too much and not too much.
Yeah.
Yes. And people ask me all the time, like, what happened to you? Like, why are you like this? You know? And I'm like, you don't know the girl I was 3 years ago and what I had to go through. And then that's an open door for me to tell my story in a sense. And being transparent and being authentic. Was not me 2 years ago. It wasn't.
Right.
Like Jordan said, I really hid in the back and I didn't say much. So yeah. Through conversations I've had with people that have opened that door for that conversation, or people that have said, oh my gosh, like, I hate the way I look. I can't wait to look like you. And I'm like, all right, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Why don't you like the way you look? Or what is it that you want to change? And through that has opened the door for so many conversations. Oh my gosh, the amount of conversations that I've had with people have just been amazing. Sometimes I'm like, how did you even find me?
Right? No, that's real talk.
Yeah.
Okay. What connection pops out in your head as like the one that has just blown you away the most? Where like you're just like, how did you find me? How do you feel this way about me? I can't believe. Are there any, like, it could be a solid friendship that's formed. It could be, the depth of the conversations you've had with this person. What pops in your head?
One girl. I went to school with her, and we're not really friends like that. I don't know. She may or may not see this. um,
Mm-hmm.
through passing, and it was she was we took a class together. This was during undergrad. And she said, I've been watching you for so long.
Mm.
You literally have given me, what did she say? You've given me the confidence and the strength to walk away from
Mm.
a, I want to say a relationship. I want to say very similar, to walk away
Okay.
from a relationship where she knew that he was putting her down, um, and really tearing her down as a person and her self confidence, and it really affected her self esteem. And she said, you've given me that confidence because of, what did I say to her? Oh my gosh. She was like, and then initially she was like, I want to look like you. I want to get up and be able to go to the gym. I want to be able to feel confident in a bathing suit.
Right.
And she's like, I'm not there yet. And
Mm-hmm.
through that, I was like, well, what do you want to change about yourself? She's like, I want to change this. I want to change that. I said, well, how are you feeling mentally? Like, how are you feeling mentally?
Mm.
And she was like, you know what, to be honest, da 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 da. She, told me her little one too. And I said, I'm so glad that we had this conversation, because this was the wake up call you needed. And
Mm.
the fact that you were able to voice that and tell me that, in a sense, you're ready to let go and you're ready to move on. And I said, I think it's time. I said, the strength is already in you, because you came in and shared that with me. It's already in you. Do what you have to do. Go find your peace, whatever that may be. And I said, worry about all the outside later, that will come. But
Mm-hmm.
find your peace. I said, do what you need to do to find your peace. And she was like, oh my God, you're so right. I had a dream. Like I was on an island somewhere, and it was so
Wow.
peaceful, so peaceful. And she said the word peace just keeps coming up in my head.
Mm.
And she was like, that happened. And she said, you just gave me the confidence to walk away from somebody who has held me down for so long.
Right.
And she's like, she's just thanking me. And I was like, don't thank me,
Right.
it's already in you. And people don't realize that, sometimes it may just take another person or something to pull that out of you. And
Right.
it's there. It was in me, but it took, other people or me going through that journey and through fitness to find it and realize that,
Mm.
So that's that.
So,
Hmm.
have you ever stopped to think about the way that you are probably inspiring and motivating and encouraging this young man right here?
Hey, Mir. Okay, our
Hey,
special guest.
my interview was better than yours.
You know why she had this?
No. This interview sucks, actually.
But see
Mine's is
that?
top interview. Look,
Okay,
all
but
those interviews suck. Mine's is the best. So y'all
listen
can
though.
nothing.
Listen.
Look.
Listen.
His interview sucks too.
Whoa!
Look, my
Oh!
interview is the
Hold
best.
up!
Wait a
Mine
second.
is the best. Oh, the interview sucks.
Shout out to
Mir,
Britt. Move with
there.
B. Move with B got me right.
No.
I didn't know how to do 100 sit-ups until I got with Move with B. Shout out to Move with B.
No,
We
you're
love
not.
you, B.
But
Mir,
back to what I was saying.
there was
My
a reason
interview.
she aired yours first. There was a reason she aired yours first and saved me last. Save the best for last, like later. You had to get thrown in there. That was cute. Throw Mir in there.
I don't want to hear it. My best interview out of all y'all. His interview trash. Your interview
First of
trash.
all, your hair is trash. Yeah,
Mine
exactly.
too, though. It was okay.
Oh, it's trash. Dang, Britt.
Your hair is trash.
No, Britt, look at Britt hair.
I
Britt hair.
know, it's crazy. It didn't. I got
I
it straightened
think
a
your
couple days
high
ago.
pony looks mad cute. I don't know what
Girl,
they're talking about.
it didn't stand a chance in this heat.
It's trash. She didn't go to hair and makeup before the show.
I sure didn't. This is real. This is me. Chip nails and all.
Speaking
Like,
of hair,
So,
right.
Mir, real quick before you go,
oh,
how has Brittany inspired you? What's your favorite thing about her?
Well, she is really nice. She is strong and lets me work out with her.
Mm.
And I just think that's nice. And
Amen. Thank you, Mir. Much
Amen.
appreciated.
you're welcome.
Thanks, Mir.
Thank you, Light.
She taught me how to do close leg squats because she was like, you got to keep your legs close because I got real big thighs. But she told me that I'm tight, and she taught me how to do it with perfect form.
Wait,
so.
and she told me how to do lemon squeezes.
Oh, the lemon squeeze joints
Yeah.
with the walkouts, with the little walkout.
Oh.
Yo, Move with B got some workouts you ain't never heard of. You about to work out parts of your butt you never even knew you had. Shout out to the lemon squeeze. That's what it was called.
Was it?
Nah.
It was called it was called lemonade squeeze.
Yeah, the lemonade. Yeah, shout out to the lemonade squeeze.
Yes.
B
Oh my gosh.
Fitness Center. And that's where I learned that.
I cannot.
Thank you, Mir. Thank you, Light.
Thanks. All these guests. Wow. Wow.
Britt, I was so excited for this. Like,
oh my gosh.
For so long. For so long.
Oh my
Because
god.
I just love, so to anyone watching and listening, Light, Khalif,
yes.
He's the reason I met Brittany as well as Jordan. And from my perspective, I just want to say, when I stepped foot onto that field, we were trying to get an outdoor COVID-19 workout in. I truly was overwhelmed and taken back by the amount of positivity and encouragement and the camaraderie, the chemistry that was there. And honestly, I was humbled and like super just flattered that I ended up in that position. And to this day, I'm just like, I actually was talking about all of y'all to a friend of mine just recently.
Really?
Because I was like, yo, like, I never would have thought. It's hard to make new friends today.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, I don't think it's easy to make new friends. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm just constantly like, I'm so glad.
And you just fit in so well. You just like Lily came in like you were one of us. Like you had been around us for so long. Like it was just so natural. So, girl, we've been friends for 5 years.
As far as we're concerned,
right? Yes.
So you were talking about the girl that sent you that beautiful message, and you had told her, you know, find your peace, and it just so happened that she had been having dreams about peace, and the word peace kept coming up. So that kind of goes full circle back to what we had said in the beginning, that what you're doing is so purposeful, even if it was uncomfortable at first, even if you didn't see it, even if you didn't plan for it. I love that. I love that you were like, I know I was going to be an entrepreneur.
At all.
You are literally killing the game. Tell me about what your dad does and the impact he's had on you with this journey.
Gosh, my dad. So my dad is my man. One, I'm the only girl out of, I have 4 brothers. So I'm the only girl out of all 5 of us. And my dad owns his own business too. He has a rental property business and he has a home improvement business. But there was a point in time where he was actually working at the post office too. So my mom was going back to school at the time. And I remember he would come home, work his jobs, go to sleep, have dinner, and wake up and go back to work at night. To see that hustle in my dad and that drive literally has been everything to me. I constantly go back and I'm like, I just want to make my dad proud because he has done sacrifice so much for our family. My dad grew up poor, like there was 8 of them. And there was a point he was like, you know what? I'm never going back to that place of being poor. And, you know, he was in the military. And my dad has allowed me to come to be this person who I am now. Allow me to make those mistakes. He never judged me. He never, and like, that's necessary that he knows even to full circle what I even went through at the time. But he has always told me, you can do whatever it is that you want. Like, do it. And I'm going to help you along the way. Here's the steps. And I'm a daddy's girl. I'm just, that's my man, 100 grand. Like, I can talk to my dad about anything, you know, and also become an entrepreneur. Our dad, like, what do I need to do? What's the first steps I need to do? And what's that, and what am I supposed to do with this? And financially and all this stuff, you know, he has helped me along the way so much with that as well. And just the entrepreneur life, because I'm so new to this. I'm still very new, and still have so much more to learn. I have plans of, you know, owning my own gym one day and going to other states and taking my classes and meeting people from across the world. Like that's my big thing. Like I just can't wait, and I know it's gonna come.
It is. We're speaking it right now.
We're speaking it. It's gonna come.
That all is happening.
And like I said, anything I say I'm gonna do, it gets done. So
Amen. And
So
I
yes,
can't wait to watch it all go down, girl.
yes, yes.
Yes. And then on the other side of that coin, what has your mother given to you throughout this journey? What have you taken from her and used to continue?
My mother has the biggest spirit and the biggest heart I've ever seen. My mom puts herself last. She will try to do anything she can do for you. Whether that means she has to drive 3 hours and come back, and she just it doesn't care what it is. My mom will do it, and my mom's heart has really had an influence on me. And she has a light about her, and her heart. Seeing what she does for others makes me want to do more, and more for others as well. And just being that listening ear. Mom's gonna be a mom. My mom will tell me things that I don't want to hear, but that's okay. And no, sometimes I need to hear that. Sometimes I need to be checked. So yeah, my mom, yeah, and my mom is so wonderful because my mom's not a workout chick. She's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a push up. I'm not. My mom can do 10 push-ups now. Like,
let me find out. Mom is moving with B.
Yes, my mom showed up to my event, and I had no idea she was coming. I had an event in February, which was so hard for me to do. Like, okay, let me just say, I had this event in February.
Now, is this the competition I was going to mention eventually?
No,
something else. Okay,
this was last February. I had this event, and I said, I just want to have this event. I had these vendors. Khalif was the DJ. I was promoting it months in advance, of course. However, I'm trying to think how many people came. I want to say about maybe 20 to 25 people ended up coming. Nobody bought tickets. Only 5 people bought tickets up until the day of. So, because you can already imagine, like, what's going through my head at the time. The night before, I'm doing all this prepping. I have gift bags. I have all this. And 5 people bought a ticket. Now, I offered to buy tickets at the door as well. That was an option. However, to know, like, I bought this huge venue. I have all these vendors. I have food. Like, Jen worked at Honey Girl. She brought Honey Girl there. And to think, like,
Honey Girl? Hold up now.
Right. 5 people was going to come. So, for me, that night before, and one, like I said, I'm not one who likes the attention. And to know that I had to, lead a group. I can lead a class. Like, that's my kind of thing. I love that.
Right.
And which I realized through doing that event. So, I'm glad I had it. And, but in my head, that little bit of discouragement came, and that doubt came back, and like, maybe this is a bad idea? Is it the wrong time? Is it not? But I had to, like, shake myself up. Like, V, if 5 people pull up, we're gonna do this with 5 people, and we're gonna have a ball with 5 people, and I'm gonna thank those 5 people for coming. And then it ended up being this huge thing, bigger than I could have ever imagined. Like, guys, I had guys in there sweating, and it was just amazing. Like, for me to do that, it was a big thing. Like, it was a big thing. The people that came out and showed me love, and even still to this day, the people that show me love on a daily basis, it never goes unnoticed. And I'm forever grateful because they keep me going. They really do. The people that support, people go hard for Move a Beat. Like,
as
hard.
They should.
They do. You be in the gym like, oh, you Move a Beat, I'm like, oh. Yeah, and that's
and this is only the beginning.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm always reminding myself. This is only the beginning. Yeah. So that event, I don't even know what was the question before that, but I had to shout
I was asking about your mom, and you said your mom came.
So she came.
Didn't know she was coming.
Didn't know she was
crazy.
coming. And my mom lasted through the entire workout, like, and was doing it. And I was up there, like, watching her the whole time, like, that's my mom, like.
Yes.
So my mom is now more engaged with fitness and becoming better, like, healthy. So I will say, growing up, my mom, nutrition wise, my mom has kind of always been healthy eating wise, and making sure that growing up, we ate healthy meals, and she provided that. And now that was able to she helps me now in a sense too with that. So to see my mom more involved with fitness because of me, is amazing because my mom is not the one. She's not the
I
one
can't
you.
imagine how grateful she is for you and for what
Oh
you're
my
doing right
gosh.
now too.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes. Like my mom can do 10 push-ups now. My mom, and she's like, well, Brittany, how do I give her this flat arm? Brittany, I did some squats the other day and my legs wasn't hurt. So what can I do now? And the fact that she comes and like asks me little questions like that, she's like,
Wow.
I can go on YouTube, but I have you here, so can you tell me? And it's just like, oh, wow,
That
Mom,
is
it was a
beautiful.
long time
So
coming.
that's brought the two of you closer as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. In a sense, yeah.
I wanted to speak about the people in your life.
I mean, I mentioned my best friend, 𝕓𝕣𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚, who along the way, like, has her own story, and she is just a huge part of my life. She can literally, I could be crying 1 second and she will make me smile the next. And she is just that light in my life that everybody needs. And her energy is contagious. You know, she literally has a goal in life to just make people smile. Like, she just wants to take money and give. I'm like, Jen, what do you want to do for a living? I just want to get money and give it away to people. I just want to make people smile. Like, that's her thing. And that's what she does. And I
look at
literally
who you surround yourself with.
I cannot have asked for a better best friend. And anybody else that wants to say that's their best friend, it's not. We've been best friends since first grade. We've lived next to each other, live around the corner, and now we live next to each other again. She played basketball away, and for a long time, when she went away to school, she went to UVA, and then she went to St. Joe's. She was a basketball chick, so that kind of gap between our friendship, like, I didn't see her that much. And so now, thanks to COVID and her moving next door, I spend all the time in the world with her, and I'm so grateful for that. But the energy, she won't let me stay down for long. She's like, Brittany, get it together when you need to get it together. Brittany, like, stop playing. Come on, like, get it. Like, she's just a light.
She sounds like the sister that you don't have in that
Yes.
way. The way that she cares about you and encourages
Yes.
you, that's amazing.
Yes, very. And I have a small group of friends. Her name is Lakeisha and Candace and Danielle. We met in college. All of us are entrepreneurs and all new things. So we kind of started this little girl group.
Wow.
My one friend, Candace, she is just amazing. She wears 1,000,001 hats. She honored me to be her son's godmother, and we became friends through my ex. The one who, but I'm grateful for that, because if it wasn't for him, we would have never met. And you would have thought we would have thought we've been friends for years. And she's a realtor. She has her own business, Kid Clothes, and she just does so much. She's graduated with her master's. So, like I said, she has her 2 businesses. She works too. She's a mother. And my other friend, Danny, I'm so happy and proud of her because she found her purpose. Like, for a long time, she was going to school and didn't know what she wanted to do and was frustrated. And she finally thought, she's an esthetician now. And that's skincare, if you don't know, because I can't even spell that. But she finally found something she finally found what she loves to do, and she's amazing at it. And my friend Keisha, she's an interior designer, and her drive is amazing. And to have that circle, we're all in this entrepreneur business, and we can ask questions with each other, and to have that support is amazing, and it's definitely needed. I couldn't have got this far without them, because it's, that accountability. Like, Brittany, what are you doing? Like, me and Keisha, we have little business days, and she's like, what are you doing? Come on, let's do something. Think of something that you're about to do next with your business. Like, come on, let's go. And you're going to be this vendor, and you're going to do this here, and come on, get with it. Like, they hold me accountable, because sometimes I will say I get a little lazy, especially with COVID and everything. I've kind of fallen back a little bit,
Yes.
I can say there's a bunch of stuff that I need to do better at, and that's one thing, promoting and marketing. Like, people don't even know that I train and I do, but I get a lot of my clients through word of mouth, to the point that I don't even need to promote as much. I do. I do. I obviously I really should, and I need to do a whole lot better, and I recognize that. And there's so much more that I could be doing, but
the reality is, what you're doing is so magnetic. Like, for example, again, with social media today, I'm not surprised that, word of mouth is the way, because when certain things that you post on your story and on your page, I would be a fool to not repost them, because it's something that also aligns with my spirit, but more importantly, it's something that I'm like, more people need to hear this. more
Yeah.
people need to see this, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is another reason
Mhm.
why we're here today. So, yeah, the whole word of mouth thing, I can see why that's the case.
Yeah.
Everything that you're
Yeah.
putting out, it needs to be echoed, period.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that makes total
And like
sense.
that energy, when it's, you know, when it's transpired, you can't deny it. You can't. And I love that. So
you mentioned COVID-19 and the pandemic that we're in right now. While you feel like you kind of fell back and maybe you've been taking things a little bit slower, what is something good that has come out of the pandemic in your opinion?
I've had more clients at one time.
Okay,
I've had more clients now. I've had a couple people from Philly who have wanted to train with me and weren't able to, but now that I'm training virtually, I'm able to do that. And it kind of allowed me to sit down and really outline what I wanted to do next for my business, and even myself in my own training. Like I said, what am I going to do next? And kind of just sit down and be quiet for a second and research where I need to do research and kind of just come up with a more plan. Because right now I kind of just was going with the flow. It was going to take me where it's going to take me. Especially with me being done grad school, I have so much more time now to dedicate to my business, which I have been doing. Yeah.
And tell me about undergrad and grad and what you've accomplished in that way.
So I graduated my undergrad in 2016 in sociology and criminal justice, and my graduate degree is in social work. I'm in the mental health field. I have a heart to work with juveniles, and I've seen a lot. I understand mental health very well, and it still aligns with my purpose of changing lives. And I've really, like I said, the population of youth and juveniles, they're often forgotten, and people think it's too late, and it's not. So, you know, also, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but aligning with my purpose, you know, me being in social work and me having fitness, because fitness kind of came out of nowhere. Like I said, it wasn't a part of the plan. So it's kind of like, all right, what now? Can I run this business and can I also have this too? Like, I eventually want to have my own practice for juveniles, and, you know, having the confidence and to know, like, all right, can you do both, or how can you merge them, you know? And even thinking about that, so it was kind of like, all right, Brittany, like, what are you gonna do? Like, how are you? Because you know, here you got fitness count over, but you also paid a arm and leg for this degree, so you're not gonna just, you know, let go of that. So yes, yeah, figuring out a way to merge the two. And I thought about, like, you know, maybe if I open up a fitness facility for juveniles and have it become like a therapy thing, and, you know, bunch of ideas rolling.
Brittany, I did not know that. I did not know.
A lot of people look at my page or me and be like, is that all you do? Like, fitness? Is that all you like? I'm like, no, I'm a whole social worker out in these streets. And
I can't even express to you how happy I am that I asked that question and that you were able to share that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know
that is a million times bigger than anything else we've talked about this entire interview. That's truly beautiful, and I'm so glad that people watching and listening are going to hear that that's another place that your heart is in.
Yeah, there's another side. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I wanted to do that from since I can remember. My mom always said, you know, she used to always like reading books about people who were struggling, who needed help. And I read the book, A Child Called It, and I was like, ooh, like, I love hearing people's struggle stories. I love to hear that and what they're going through. I love that. And I'm drawn to people who have been through things. And a lot of people try to discourage me along the way, like, you know, social workers, they don't make any money, and you know, it's boring. And, you know, my job now, you know, right now I'm currently furloughed, but my job now, I never know what I'm going to walk into. And to be like that immediate source of help for a family who was crying for help is so rewarding. And it's like I said, it's not about me. None of this, anything I do in life is not about me. And, you know, I don't care how much money I make. My purpose is going to make room for me. My purpose is going to make money for me. And I have no worries. You know, I love what I do. I love helping people. You can't take that away from me. And I don't care if I made $1. Like, I would do it for free. I would train people for free. I will go into people's homes for free. And, it's just, I'm here for the people. That's how I feel like, it's
Brittany
not,
for president 2020,
it's
please.
not, it's what can I do for other people? And I'm always just like, how can I be there for you? How can I be that listening ear for you? And, because at a point in time, I needed that. So,
Amen.
yes. Yes. So it's not just move with me. It's not just, fitness Brittany. It's,
No, not at
yes.
all.
And a lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the adolescents, or what are some of the experiences that you've seen, just real quick, that inspired you to go that route?
Oh gosh. Oh, I worked in a group home. If anybody knows anything about that, you see some stuff in a group home.
Oh
You
my
see,
gosh.
I walked in a room and have seen an adolescent, with cuts on their arms up to here, and I witnessed them, almost try to like take their life, and hearing the stuff the trauma that they've been through and how it affects them now it's so deep. And I hope that I don't become almost numb to it. That's my biggest fear through this, because I've seen so much and I've heard so much, and gosh, abuse stories. I've heard it all and I've seen it all, and I don't ever want to become numb to it, which is why it's so important for me to find, a way to unplug. And, you can't help not take those stories home. Like, if you have a heart, you're going to take it home with you. And for a long time I did, and even still I do. But to know that I'm doing all I can in that present moment, I'm okay with that. And yeah, I mean, I could go into a whole list of stories I've heard.
Yes,
Heartbreaking, but it never is too much for me. It'll never stop me from wanting to be in this field. So yes.
That is crazy. As you're
Yeah.
speaking, the only word that just keeps circling and circling in my mind is strength. And it's like, yo, we spent this whole interview talking about how strong this woman has become, how she want to be the strongest woman walking. And look at the other type of strength, the more important type of strength that you have to be able to not only witness that. There are people that witness things like that and they can't hold on to it and they have to let it go. And they can't go to work in a setting like that.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
yes.
You're diving right in.
Yes, I love it. Take me all the way. I want the kids that's running away. I want the aggressive ones. Because I made, and even still, like, some of them I still keep in contact with to this day. And like, I know I've made that connection. I know I planted seeds. And I made sure whenever I step on the scene, even if it's for a brief moment or, through working in a group home, I'm constantly speaking life in somehow, some way. There's life in this situation. There's hope. And I will never stop being. And then, I can't do it all. I do immediate response work currently, and I'm only there for a brief hour doing an assessment, and then I'm like, boom, 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 boom. But like I said, to be that source of, I've walked into homes and a family have just said, oh my God, thank you so much. This worker is not doing anything for me. The fact that you're here and you're here to give me some answers and provide some sort of help, some sort of hope is like, thank you. Oh my gosh, that breath of fresh air some families need. And yeah, I'm so here for it. I'm here for all the troubled children. I love it. I really do. And it's not for everybody, but I knew at an early age that it was for me. I do it very well. And people see that. People see that. Yeah. My previous boss, if she's watching this, her name is Rashida. She has helped me so much in my growth as well. And through working in this field, she has taught me so much. And seeing her and she's amazing at what she does as well. But she at a point in time, she saw more me in that field than I saw myself, and how far I could go. And she put me in places and she put me in roles that was uncomfortable. But she knew that I was able to handle it. So I'm grateful for her as well. Yes. Yeah.
Now, what would you say you could connect your hopefulness to? Because I think it's something that's so hard to have, especially in that line of work.
Yeah.
There's this thing in you that says, I am not giving up, not for me and not for anybody else. Where would you say that thing comes from, if you could name it?
Myself. I mean, in a sense, I can truly say, like, Brittany built Brittany from the ground up. I needed to help myself, and sometimes you have to help yourself. And like I said, I had nobody around me who knew what I was going through, and so to pull that strength from within me. So I took pieces of what people saw in me. I knew it was always there. I knew who I wanted to be, and I knew it wasn't the end. So that hope I had in myself, I knew I was going to be able to give that to other people. I know that I can. Like, Brittany didn't think she could do a push-up. Brittany didn't think she can do a pull-up, and now look at her. You know, it's really a journey, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to stay there. And I hold that very close. Like, whatever it is that you may be going through, there's hope in everything. And even like how you look at certain situations, you know, having a different perspective on things, you know, let's look at the other side of this. You know, this might look like this, but how about it look like this, you know? So having that shift in the mindset, like I said, that kind of came with fitness. And when I started, that shift in thinking, that's very helpful as well.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, this was
I know. And I didn't know how this was gonna go. And like I said, I don't know if the energy you can't deny. And I knew I wanted to be on here and be authentic and real and transparent. And you allowed me to
absolutely did that.
Yeah, but you've made that comfortable. So, and I thank you. Like I said, I'm very honored to even be on this. So, yes.
Thank you so much. You are such an inspiration. I'm so excited for you. Like, okay, and again, what I think people should know, like I said, we just met recently, but I knew without a doubt, like, okay, this is a person, this is, you know, somebody that needs to be highlighted, somebody that I want to get to know better.
Yes, and when you say light, like, I love that word. Like, you're just such a light. And like I said, I've been dim and dark for so long. Like, the light was bound to shine. So, and so like I'm so on. Like I said, I was in a dark place for a very long time, and people saw that in me that I did not see in myself. And the fact that you even saw that for a brief second.
Yes, for a brief second.
Me?
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and your spirit.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Yeah.
I really can't. And this interview is going to impact everyone that listens to it in one way or another. You are so well-rounded. You just did such a great job explaining so many different facets of your life and of your journey. So I'm confident that whether it's somebody like Mir or somebody like Jordan or somebody like your dad, you know what I'm saying? Those 3 different types of people, I feel they're going to watch this and they're either going to know how to keep themselves from getting into a dark place, or they're going to know how to recognize if they're in a dark place, and then they're going to know how to pull themselves out of that dark place. You really shine so brightly.
Yes, so thank you.
This is only the beginning.
Only the beginning.
And I'm sure everyone listening agrees with that. I feel like we might have to do a part 2, like touching on your work background and everything. You know, I just can't believe that was a whole nother super bright and impactful part of you that I had no idea about. This is amazing.
Oh gosh, that could take a whole hour and stuff.
Interview with itself,
it can. I've seen and I've witnessed so much. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Seriously.
Oh, thank you.
This was so great. I tried to get Jaren up in this piece, okay? And it
what happened?
Girl, I wanted her to pop up, and I wanted to be like, Jaren, I don't even deserve rounding out this interview. Like, can you say who Brittany is and how great this interview just was, and end it off with? But they said she's training clients at work right now.
Zoop, gang, I made it. You know, I'm always on go, B, so I couldn't make the initial recording, but you know, You're one of those people that I wouldn't miss anything for. So I'm here. I pulled up. I might be late as usual. CP time, whatever it is. I'm here. And I just wanted to be the person to come on here and say that I'm so proud of you. It's been so much fun to watch your journey, be a part of your journey, sit back and watch you grow. Literally, like, you know, when you're in school and they talk about you watch the butterfly grow from the cocoon to the wings, and it's so beautiful. That's literally what you was in a cocoon when we was growing up. Now you wear sweatpants to now I have to try to put clothes on you. So like you're in your butterfly phase. It's been such a metamorphosis. Ding ding. And it's been so fun to watch. My best friend since 2001, literally first grade. Like people say, oh, that's my best friend. But like, no. Well, that's really my best friend. Thank you. And it takes a lot to be best friends with somebody like me, because I will, befriend the person on the street who I'll never see in my life ever again and act like they're my homies. So I take pride in being your best friend. I can't wait to watch this interview. And this podcast, like even just thinking about you being on a podcast, that just doesn't even sound like something that you used to do. But here we are. 3 words that I probably had to choose to describe you will probably be resilient. No matter what it is, what stands in your way, what obstacle, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, and it's cool to sometimes see obstacles being placed in your way. So I could just be like, can't wait till for instance, your masters, like just getting that and going through it, and just I'm gonna get this regardless. So I would say resilient. Another word is consistent. I know just with me and just like with anything in your life, and I feel like just whatever role that you play in anybody's life, you're consistent. You're always there, and consistency is not something that you can come by easily just nowadays. And so I think you're consistent. You're always the same. You never change, and I think that's huge. And then last but not least, you are a light. You always make people see the positive, the light in life. You're always there to say it could be worse. But I'm here, new day. You love mornings. You love opening up the blinds and good morning, world. You love, like, goodness gracious, you are light. So I think it's cool that this podcast is about light, and it just so embodies who you are. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad I could pull up. I love you. I am not about to cry. No. You're not gonna do that. There's nothing you can't do except drive. Yeah. But yeah, love you. So glad I was able to come on this podcast. You're my best friend. Oh, wait. Damn. We love you. Did you love some Brittany? Yeah, you love Brittany. Move with B. Move with B. Move with B. Love you, B. Ah!